Good morning, my lovelies, and welcome back to another Backstitch Backroom Sew Along series. Today we're starting the sew along for the Swoon Lucy, which is a super cute backpack, not too big, not too small. It has some cute features that I've never done in a sew along before, like the zipper on the strap or even a cinched backpack. The backpack is super pretty and super cute for all occasions. It works great for kids as well as adults. So without further ado, let's get started. Today we're going to be printing the pattern, of course, cutting the pattern pieces. We'll also be cutting the fabric as well as the interfacing and fuse them together where needed. And tomorrow we start the actual sewing process. So for my little backpack, I'm going to be using this gorgeous, irresistible woven that we offered with Backstitch, through Backstitch Sew Flow. I'm going to be lining my backpack with this Wookiee fur, which is really coordinating nicely with the Chewbacca. So this will be my lining for the backpack, and maybe I'll do the straps as an accent with it too. I haven't made up my mind yet. You know me, I like to just cut as I go and decide as I go while I'm cutting. So I know this is the main and I know this is the lining, but as far as accents are concerned, as you can see, my pile of vinyl is right here. So I'm gonna be inspired while I cut, because I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet for the accent part. So gorgeous woven that works beautifully for bags as well as apparel fabric. This is part of the round that opens today, actually, at Backstitch. Obviously everything that I'm using in these videos will be linked in the description below. You can find all the information about the fabric in the Backstitch Facebook group. So once you have your pattern pieces cut, I suggest you separate them. There's some pattern pieces like the back panel that use just stabilizer, so I like to put those aside so I don't confuse them. These ones are just for stabilizer, which I'm going to talk about right now. So as far as interfacing goes, I'm going to be using woven fuse for lining. All the woven lining and main will be interfaced with woven fuse. Then I'm going to be using, the pattern suggests fleece interfacing for the outside of the backpack. It says so on the pattern pieces, so you'll know exactly which one requires fleece and which one doesn't, because not all pieces do require it. I'm not a huge fan of fleece interfacing per se. I like Thermolam, but this is the piece of Thermolam that I have left in my stock. So I'm not going to be using this. I did use it for my last Lucy backpack and it works beautifully. So I do recommend Thermolam instead of just the regular fleece, like the cheaper one. This is slightly more expensive, but not by much, and it feels so much better. So this is what the pattern suggested. I will be using, instead of fleece, I will be using Decovil Light. Wherever the pattern calls, where's my Decovil? There. That was a little too heavy. Decovil Light, wherever the pattern says fleece, I will be using Decovil Light. Easy substitution. Decovil Light makes it feel firmer than the fleece does. You could use foam if you insist, but I wouldn't recommend it because it might make it too bulky when you cinched it at the top. The foam might make it feel too bulky. So I would stick with the Decovil Light or the fleece as instructed. I would skip the foam. I would rather, if you don't have Decovil or fleece and you want to make the backpack, I would just double up on the woven fuse or SF101 or any woven interfacing that you're using. Just double up on that and you should be fine, instead of using foam for the outside. So this way when you cinch it, it feels nice, not too bulky. So this is what I'm going to be using. Wherever it says stabilizer, I will be using Decovil Heavy. because I want the back of the backpack to be stiffer and firmer, and I also want the bottom of the backpack to be the same way. So I will be using Decovil Heavy. So on the 3 pieces, which are the back, the 2 for the back and 1 for the bottom, I will be using Decovil Heavy. Let's see, what else do you need? So we've covered fabric, interfacing. You need, if you want to go ahead and add like a vinyl accent or a cork or any kind of different accent for the back, you can do that. I want to do the straps, the back and the bottom in vinyl, and everything else will be fabric. So I will be using this Wizardry vinyl. I don't know which one yet, so I'm still, like, I've been laying my patterns like this close to it, and I'm thinking I'm gonna go with black or black and yellow. That's why I put them here, because that's, or black and turquoise. I feel like the rainbow one, which is a brand new one, look how pretty. Look how pretty, this is brand new vinyl, the unicorn main one. I feel like it clashes because there's too many colors here, too many colors here, so this is probably gonna be out, and pink might be out too. So I was more leaning towards these 3, so I don't know. I'll figure out while I cut the pattern pieces which one I'm going to do. I feel like black would make the fabric pop better, but I don't know if it's gonna be the piece that I have. I don't know if it will be enough to do the straps and the back and the bottom, so I might have to combine or use this blue one. I don't know, hence why they're all here. So that's for the back and the bottom. You also need hardware, not too much. This is a very good beginner friendly project, so you don't have to have too much. One, if you don't want the back pocket, you don't have to have it. You can just skip that all together and do the back flat, so you don't need the zipper for the back. If you don't want to add the zipper to the straps, you can always keep them, so you don't need a zipper at all. If you don't want to add the pocket on the back and the zipper on the straps, then you don't need a zipper. I will, of course, seize every opportunity I have to add some nice rainbow hardware to my bag, so I will add the zippers to pattern, not to take them away, but that's just me. So again, I couldn't decide if I wanted to use this iridescent, like the Daydream, or the Nightmare tape. This is the Daydream. Let's see, the iridescence. It's like a rainbow coil. So I don't know. If I go with black, I might do the white so it pops, or I don't know. So I'm gonna use either the Daydream or the Nightmare for my my zippers, and I'm going to be doing these stars because, of course, stars, like Star Wars, for my zipper pulls, all rainbow finish. You also need 2 D-rings for the straps. I prefer, for the straps, instead of D-rings, I prefer rectangles for where you connect the connector to the strap. I feel it lays nicer than the D-ring. You don't want the vinyl strap to curve. So I'm going to be using these 2 connectors, the rectangle. Then you need, for the front strap, you need 2 D-rings. I don't have standard D-rings, I have only this one with the bar, so I think they'll work. And you need 2 of them because you'll be feeding the strap through them. You also need 2 sliders. So if you're using just woven fabric interfaced for the slider, just regular 1-inch sliders will work perfect. I have them here to try out, but I may not use them. That's why I brought my favorite sliders, which are these Gigantor ones. These ones are so good for when you're using bulky fabric or vinyl or cork or glitter vinyl, especially because they're very very big and have a big opening here. So you'll be sliding 2 4 layers of vinyl. So basically at one point there'll be 8 layers of vinyl going through it. So I feel like this will work better for the vinyl if I choose to go with this one. But I brought the other one just in case. We'll figure out when I do the straps. So that's everything you need. Now that you have everything ready, you can go ahead and start cutting. I'm going to start cutting just a few pieces on camera, and then I'll continue off camera because it gets boring to watch me just cut fabric and interfacing. I'm going to be using my heat press to fuse the interfacing. I have a video on my channel that I show you how I fuse fabric and vinyl to various interfacing using the heat press. I'm going to link it in the comments so you can just click on it. And I will come back once everything is ready to go over all the pieces and where they'll go, like sort of like an inventory, so you can compare them with the pieces that you have there. I do want to mention that I like to start with the bigger pieces when it comes to vinyl, to make sure that I have enough left over, or start with the pieces that you want to feature, then you want to make sure you have enough of the fabric or the vinyl. Also, if you're doing the regular closure like the pattern, I'm going to try to stick to the pattern this time, not make too many modifications to it, because here, on the front, this is a modified one that I did a while back. On the front you have a strap that goes in the center, and you have a strap that goes here in the center. So, and you have to loop them through the two D-rings. Now this one I made full vinyl, my straps. So looping them through two D-rings was very difficult. So I just changed the closure to clasp and hook, or clasp and what do you call it? Triangle. So this is a modified one. It's not a hard modification to do. You'll just have to cut your straps shorter in the center and add your hardware. So not very difficult to do. But if you want to use vinyl, definitely modify it and do a different closure. Whether it's a twist and lock, or just a magnetic snap would work, or this style that I did here. Don't do the regular style included in the pattern if you're using vinyl, because it will get too thick. You won't be able to pull it through the D-ring twice, so you need a different closure. Use fabric, which is what I'm going to do today. If you're doing these center accent pieces and the regular closures in the like in the pattern, use fabric, because you want to make sure it works to actually close it. And I think I'm going to be doing this type of closure as well, the grommet one. There is also another style included in the pattern where you can use just a casing. So whatever you're comfortable with. You do need grommets if you want, obviously, if you want to do the grommet, but you don't have to. You can do the regular casing style. And for the back, I'm going to show you how to add, I didn't add it here, but there was a comment in on one of my posts with somebody saying that when they wear their backpack, the zipper is bothering them on the back. So I'm going to show you how to add a zipper guard. This way the zipper won't bother you when worn separate like this. That's a little hack that I'll show you how to do. It's super easy, nothing too complicated, but for anybody that's more sensitive to the feel of a zipper directly on the skin, but there's various level of sensitivity, and I honestly can't tell you that I've never worn this to the park yet. It's going to happen next weekend probably, but so I don't know how it actually wears, if it's comfortable or not. The commenter in the Facebook group said she was bothered, so let's just see how easy it is to add a zipper guard. You just need a little extra woven fabric, nothing too big. So let's start cutting. I will start with the front piece. This pattern has a seam in the center, which you can see because of the strap that you have there, the accent strap. So I have, my printer ran out of toner, so I had to write it with my, that's why it's handwritten. That's not how it will print for you. So you will need two front pieces cut on fold. And this. And I like to cut them both at the same time. I have a paper rotary cutter and a fabric rotary cutter, so I need to make sure I'm using the correct one. And I tend to change the blades, like when my fabric one gets dull, I put it in the paper one. This way I have a somewhat newer one for paper, and then that I discard of that one. Such a beautiful print. This is so pretty. I have a feeling I will lose this backpack to my kids. My youngest loves all the little backpacks I've been making. Yeah, I need to change the blade for sure. So I have two of this. Then for the flap, I think I'm going to use the same main print. And I'll do the strap, the accent strap with flap is only one, right? Yes, only one flap. So pretty, so pretty. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do the closure strap with the Wookie fabric, like the lining. Make sure that you read the pattern before you cut your fabrics, because on one of the pages, page 1 actually, it shows you, and that's the only other paper I like to print from the pattern, it shows you the measurements. There's some extra pieces that are not pattern pieces, they're cutting. There's a cut list there, so make sure you cut those too. It's for the straps, the connectors, and the accent strap. If you're using a directional print for the flap, when you cut your lining, make sure you put it upside down. Like if I cut my main fabric like this, then I'm going to cut my lining like this, because you want to see it when you open it. You want it to look correctly when you open it. Alright, so that is with the main print. This is going to be lining, but why don't I just cut that now? So this is how the fur goes. This is a strike off, so I do believe that the scale might be changing for the bulk, but always check in the main group for any information of like this. Lining for the flap. Let's see what else needs lining. This needs lining, and the pocket inside. So we need 2 of the main. So I fold it 1 time, and then actually let me do it at the top. this is how I work. I can change my mind all the time. Alright, so we need 2 of these so 2 of the big pieces for the main part of the lining, and then there is a pocket included in the pattern that I'm going to be cutting out of lining as well. I should have pressed the lining first. What I have here is not enough for this, so I'm going to cut one of the pockets. See, there's a dash line right here, so I just fold that one, and this will be your pocket. So I'm going to cut it out of this, and you need 2 of those as well. So let's do this process again, because I only cut only one. See, I told you guys you'll be bored by watching me cut this. And yes, I should be using pattern weights. I'm just feeling lazy this morning. It's been raining in North Florida for 2 months now. It's been crazy. So it makes me sleepy and lazy, this weather. So we're just gonna blame my laziness on the weather, right? It's crazy how much rain we've been getting this past 2 months. It used to be like every summer you get rain around 3 o'clock. We knew it lasts a little bit. No, man, this year it's been crazy. So much. Alright, so we have the lining. We have the pocket lining. I'm going to use this Wookie for the accents on the front, but I'll cut those off camera with the cutting chart. Then we need Decoville, we need interfacing. Again, I'll cut and interface all that off camera. We need the back piece, which will be vinyl, and the bottom. And where is my back piece? Okay. It's somewhere here. I know, there it is. Nope. Oh, lining. I need the lining also from the Wookie. Oh, it's here. There we go. Exterior back. I knew I had all pieces. So this. What do we do, guys? Let me see how much we need for the straps. So 40 inches. I may not have enough. 40 inches for the strap. Okay, I don't know how long this is. Let me check first. So 24, 48. Oh, okay, so I might have enough. Let's see. To do both the straps and the... Man, I love this vinyl. So soft. So this is for the back piece. Come on, come on. Work. Yes. Holy moly. Talk about luck. Look at this. That's crazy. It's exactly the width of this. I think this is a 12-inch roll. So So if you have a 12-inch roll from Wizardry Stitchery, it will work. Alright, so this will be your back. This will be cut after we add the interfacing. As you can see, you're going to add your interfacing as per the pattern, like centered. We'll cut this during the process, but to add the zipper. If you're not adding the zipper, then you won't really need to cut it if you don't add the back zipper pocket. Alright, and then I have to do the straps. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue cutting. I'm going to be interfacing all the pieces with my heat press, and I'll come right back. Alrighty, so we are done cutting, interfacing, so let's do a quick run through of all the pieces that you need to have with this pattern, so you can inventory your own little stash. So you will have 2 pocket pieces for the back, lined with woven interfacing. This is the back pocket. You have 2 pocket pieces for the inside, same, lined with woven interfacing. This is just a little slot pocket, like patch pocket in the inside of the backpack. Of course, if you want to add more pockets, you're more than welcome to. You will have 2 lining pieces interface with woven interfacing, and 1 bottom, same, interface with woven interfacing. You will have 2 flap pieces, 1 main interfaced with woven interfacing and Decoville light in my case, or Thermolam if you're following the pattern, and 1 lining interfaced with woven interfacing. You will have 2 straps. Mine are vinyl, so they have no interfacing on them. 2 long straps that are 4 inches wide. You will also have top trim panel, it's called. So this is where your cinching will happen with this panel. So it can be either grommets, or if you're doing the casing, you will also need a drawstring casing. I'm doing grommet, so I don't have that pattern piece cut. So you'll also need this one. This is 3 inches wide, so make sure you separate them from the 4 inches wide strap so you don't mix them up when you sew. You'll need a cinch panel. It's a little one. I'm using vinyl for mine too. You'll need a long woven piece that will be your cord. Well, what you'll be using instead of cord, your drawstring. If you want to use cord, you can use pre-made cord like I did for this one. This is cord, like parachute cord that I got at Michael's. So you can use that if you want. Just cut it the length included, which is 26 inches. No, that's the casing. 40 inches for the cord. So you need a 40-inch cord, or you can make it yourself with the fabric lined with woven interfacing. You also have another long piece that is the strap. This will be cut in the 2 pieces for the top and the bottom. Mine is with the accent, with the lining. Interfaced with woven interfacing. Then you'll need your exterior bottom interfaced with woven interfacing and fleece and Decoville heavy in my case, or Peltex if you're using Peltex 71F. This is hard. Then you have the back piece, which again should be interfaced with woven interfacing, fleece and stabilizer. In my case, since I'm using vinyl, I only went for the stabilizer. I could have put woven interfacing too, but I guess I didn't feel the need. Make sure that your interface is partially like this. This will be cut in probably tomorrow's steps to add the zipper. If you're not adding the zipper in the back and the pockets, if you're skipping that, you can just put a full piece of interfacing. So instead of using those 2 pattern pieces to cut your stabilizer, it's called, your Decoville heavy or Peltex, just cut a bigger piece. So basically cut the back piece and remove ½ an inch around it for the seam allowance. Easy modification if you don't want the back pocket. And you also have your main fabric, which will be, mine is like this. This will be the center seam, 2 pieces interfaced with woven interfacing and fleece or Decovil Light in my case. I also grabbed my zipper. I decided to go with the Nightmare zipper. You need one zipper that is 14 inches, and that's the zipper, the pre-made zipper. If you're using zipper by the yard, cut a 15-inch piece, because you will need 1 inch extra to accommodate for the extra tape the pre-made zipper has. And same thing for the back, you will need an 11-inch zipper, so I cut mine at 12-inch. This is nylon coil. I will link below the video that I've done about various zippers. For this pattern, I highly recommend nylon coil. Don't use metal ones, and even resin ones might be hard on your back when you wear the backpack, because all the zippers are on your back with this one. So stick with nylon, because nylon is the softest one out of all. And I also made the zipper guards. So for the zipper guards, just cut 2 pieces of woven that are 14 inches long by 1.25. So 1.25 inches wide by 14 inches long, and I pre-pressed them in half. So you need 2 of these. This will be your zipper guards. If this is a hack that I have for the pattern, you obviously don't have to do it for yours. I told you earlier, it's because somebody in the group mentioned that the straps were bothering them when they wore the backpack, the zipper on the strap, so I figured the zipper guard will help a little bit with that. Alright, so grab a picture, snap a picture of your pretty pile of fabric cut and interfaced, and post it in the comments of day 1 of the sew along in the Facebook group, in the Backstitch Backroom Facebook group. That will be your check-in for day 1. And I'll see you back here tomorrow when we'll continue with the sewing part. We'll be doing the first 3 steps of the pattern. Talk to you guys soon. Bye!